آموزش سریع مکالمه انگلیسی. روز 80. درس 80.
Listen to this conversation. Carlos Martinez has just arrived at a colleague's house.
Hi, Carlos. Come in and sit down. Carlos, this is my nephew, Tom. Tom, this is a colleague of mine, Carlos Martinez.
Pleased to meet you, Tom.
Pleased to meet you, Mr. Martinez.
Carlos, we were just talking about Mexico.
You were talking about Mexico? Why?
Tom just graduated from college, and he'd like to go to Mexico. He'd like to teach English there.
Listen again.
Hi, Carlos. Come in and sit down. Carlos, this is my nephew, Tom. Tom, this is a colleague of mine, Carlos Martinez.
Pleased to meet you, Tom.
Pleased to meet you, Mr. Martinez.
Carlos, we were just talking about Mexico.
You were talking about Mexico? Why?
Tom just graduated from college, and he'd like to go to Mexico. He'd like to teach English there.
You're talking with a friend. You're talking with a friend.
بگید همین الان داشتم با دختر خواهرم حرف می‌زدم.
I was just talking with my niece.
روز یکشنبه میاد واسه دیدار.
She's coming to visit on Sunday.
Ask.
واسه چند وقت؟
For how long?
فقط یه چند روز.
Only a few days.
Ask what she is doing here in New York.
What is she doing here in New York? What's she doing here in New York?
She says.
داره سفر میکنه.
Listen and repeat.
She's taking a trip. Trip. Taking. She is taking. She's taking. She's taking a trip.
Say again.
داره سفر میکنه.
She's taking a trip.
سر تا سر، در سراسر، از میان.
Listen and repeat.
Through. Through. Through the United States.
Through the. Listen and repeat.
Through. The. Through the. Through the United States.
Try to say.
یه سفر در سراسر آمریکا.
A trip through the United States.
Say.
داره سفر میکنه.
She's taking a trip.
در سراسر آمریکا.
Through the United States.
جدیداً از دانشگاه فارغ التحصیل شد.
She just graduated from college.
و به تازگی یه ماشین خرید.
And she just bought a car.
حالا داره سرتاسر آمریکا سفر میکنه.
Now she's taking a trip through the United States.
Ask if she is traveling alone.
Is she traveling alone?
she says.
نه، بهترین دوستش باهاش مسافرت میکنه.
No, her best friend is traveling with her.
روز یکشنبه اینجان.
They'll be here on Sunday.
Ask how much time they have.
How much time do they have?
She answers.
تقریباً 6 هفته.
About 6 weeks.
Ask.
6 هفته کافیه؟ عملاً 6 هفته وقت کافیه؟
Is 6 weeks enough time?
برای دیدن آمریکا؟
To see the United States?
She says.
نه، ولی در 6 هفته؟
No, but in 6 weeks.
میتونن خیلی چیزا ببینن.
They can see a lot.
این یکشنبه اینجان.
They'll be here this Sunday.
Now you're talking with a colleague. How do you say?
پسر برادرم یا پسر خواهرم.
My nephew. Nephew.
Say that your nephew is coming to visit.
My nephew is coming to visit.
Say.
او و بهترین رفیقش.
He and his best friend
دارن سفر میکنن.
are taking a trip. Are taking. He and his best friend are taking a trip.
سرتاسر آمریکا.
Through the United States.
این آخر هفته اینجان.
They'll be here this weekend.
Ask.
به نظر شما؟
In your opinion.
Try to ask.
چی بایستی ببینن تو نیویورک؟
What should they see in New York?
Your colleague answers.
خیلی چیزا واسه دیدن هست تو نیویورک.
There's a lot to see in New York.
Now she says.
من و شوهرم.
My husband and I.
من و شوهرم مایلیم شما رو به شام دعوت کنیم.
My husband and I would like to invite you to dinner.
میتونین شنبه آینده بیاین؟
Can you come next Saturday?
Say.
متاسفم ولی شنبه آینده اینجا نیستم.
I'm sorry, but I won't be here next Saturday.
بوستونم.
I'll be in Boston.
Now say,
ببخشید.
Excuse me.
من باید یه تلفن بزنم.
I have to make a phone call.
پیتر ازم میخواد که امروز صبح بهش تلفن بزنم.
Peter wants me to call him this morning.
now you're at an acquaintance's place.
میگه بفرمایید تو و بشینید.
Come in and sit down. Sit down. Come in and sit down, please.
Now she says,
پیش پای شما داشتیم راجع به مکزیک حرف میزدیم.
We were just talking about Mexico.
با تعجب بپرسیم درباره مکزیک حرف میزدین؟
You were talking about Mexico?
she says,
بله پسر خواهرم تازه از دانشگاه فارغ التحصیل شد.
Yes, my nephew just graduated from college.
و امسال تابستون
And this summer,
try to say,
دلش میخواد یه سفری بکنه
he'd like to take a trip
به مکزیک.
to Mexico. He'd like to take a trip to Mexico.
ask how much time he has.
How much time does he have?
تقریبا 3 هفته.
About 3 weeks.
پسر خواهرم میخواد یه سفری به مکزیک بکنه.
My nephew wants to take a trip to Mexico.
به عقیده شما
In your opinion,
3 هفته واسه دیدن مکزیک کافیه؟
is 3 weeks enough time to see Mexico?
You discuss her nephew's trip.
بعد میبینه که دارین به یه عکس نگاه میکنین. میگه اون دخترمه.
That's my daughter.
و دوست پسرش.
First, do you remember how to say,
دوست دختر.
Girlfriend. Girlfriend.
now try to say,
دوست پسر.
Boyfriend.
say,
اون دخترمه.
That's my daughter.
و دوست پسرش.
And her boyfriend.
همین الان دارن سفر میکنن.
Right now they're taking a trip.
سراسر آمریکا.
through the United States.
دخترم و دوست پسرش
My daughter and her boyfriend
دارن سرتاسر آمریکا سفر میکنن.
are taking a trip through the United States.
در فارسی خیلی سلیس میشه سرتاسر آمریکا رو دارن میگردن. بگید 4 هفته دارن.
They have 4 weeks.
Ask,
4 هفته کافیه؟
Is 4 weeks enough time?
واسه دیدن آمریکا؟
To see the United States?
نه، ولی به عقیده من
No, but in my opinion,
خیلی چیزا میتونن ببینن.
they can see a lot.
now you're in your office.
و اخیراً از یه سفر کاری از سیاتل برگشتین. همکارتون میپرسه سفرت چطور بود؟
How was your trip?
سفرت به سیاتل چطور بود؟
How was your trip to Seattle?
خیلی خوب بود.
Listen and repeat.
It went very well. Very well. Went. It went. It went very well.
در این حالت درست معنای was میده. از نظر لغوی یعنی رفت، گذشت.
Listen.
How was your trip to Seattle?
It was great.
وقتی راجع به یه سفر کاری یا یه جلسه حرف میزنیم خیلی متداوله که went به کار ببریم. با went بگید خیلی خوب بود.
It went very well.
Say,
سفرم خیلی خوب بود.
My trip went very well.
now try to say,
جلسه خیلی خوب بود.
The meeting went very well.
جلسه ارزشمند بود.
listen and repeat.
The meeting was worthwhile. Worthwhile. While. Worth. Worth. Worthwhile. Was. Was worthwhile. The meeting was worthwhile.
Say,
ارزشمند بود.
Was worthwhile. Worthwhile.
جلسه ارزشمند بود. میارزید.
The meeting was worthwhile.
چطور بود؟
How was it?
خیلی خوب بود.
It went very well.
فکر کنم ارزش داشت.
I think it was worthwhile.
You want to say,
جلسه طولانی داشتیم.
listen and repeat.
We had. 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 We had.
Try to say,
جلسه طولانی داشتیم.
We had a long meeting.
ارزشمند بود.
It was worthwhile. It was very worthwhile.
یه جلسه طولانی داشتیم.
We had a long meeting.
و من فکر کنم که میارزید.
And I think it was worthwhile.
your colleague says,
سیاتل شهر قشنگیه.
Seattle is a beautiful city.
وقت داشتی؟
Did you have time?
وقت داشتی که موزه رو ببینی؟
Did you have time to see the museum?
try to say,
آره وقت داشتم.
Yes, I had time.
وقت داشتم واسه دیدن موزه.
I had time to see the museum.
جلسمون خیلی خوب بود.
Our meeting went very well.
و وقت داشتم که موزه رو ببینم.
And I had time to see the museum.
فکر میکنم که سفر ارزشمند بود.
I think the trip was worthwhile.
سیاتل رو خیلی دوست دارم.
I like Seattle very much.
now you want to say,
دفعه دیگه، دفعه بعد.
listen and repeat.
Next time. Time. Next. Next time.
مجددا بگید دفعه دیگه.
Next time.
دلم میخواد مدت بیشتری بمونم.
Listen and repeat.
I'd like to stay longer. 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 I'd like to stay longer.
Say,
دفعه آینده
Next time.
دلم میخواد طولانی تر بمونم.
I'd like to stay longer. Stay longer.
تو سیاتل خیلی کارا واسه انجام دادن هست.
There's a lot to do in Seattle.
رفتم موزه.
I went to the museum.
و در یه رستوران خیلی خوب غذا خوردم.
And I ate at a very good restaurant.
دفعه دیگه دلم میخواد بیشتر اونجا بمونم.
Next time, I'd like to stay there longer.
Your colleague asks,
و جلسه چطور بود؟
And how was the meeting?
say,
به عقیده من میارزید.
In my opinion, it was worthwhile. It was very worthwhile.
یه همکار دیگه پیداش میشه. بگید بشین لطفاً.
Sit down, please.
say,
درست همین الان داشتیم راجع به سفرم حرف میزدیم.
We were just talking about my trip.
she asks,
چطور بود؟
How was it?
answer,
خیلی خوب بود.
It went very well.
she says,
عالیه. و وقت داشتی که شهر رو ببینی؟
Great. And did you have time to see the city?
try to say,
یه کمی وقت داشتم.
I had a little time.
ولی دفعه دیگه
But next time,
دلم میخواد بیشتر اونجا بمونم.
I'd like to stay there longer.
یه روز دیگه داریم باز با همکاراتون حرف میزنیم. یکی دیگه پیداش میشه.
ask her to please sit down.
Please sit down. Sit down, please.
say,
درست همین الان داشتیم راجع به سفرم به میامی حرف میزدیم.
We were just talking about my trip to Miami.
try to say,
دلم میخواد یه خود طولانی تر بمونم.
I'd like to stay a little longer. A little longer.
که از دختر خواهرم و دوست پسرش دیدن کنم.
To visit my niece and her boyfriend.
she says,
چرا که نه؟
Why not?
پایان درس 80.